Alright, what's up YouTube? Varric here. I have another build I want to show you. I've been working on this for a little while now. I think with the idea I have here is any class that can serve that supportive role can excel really well with the Ag1 Mercenary. So I do want to show another build that uses her. It's not a Necromancer, it is still green, so it's a support Barbarian. I think this brings a lot to the table because I think it can both excel in group maps and I think it has a place in group maps, but at the same time it can still solo and do pretty well and hold its own, and it's pretty fun to play. I will be the first to say it is a little bit of a meme. I know I'm kind of, experimenting with these, Green Goblin things and trying out different things, but hey, that's how we discover stuff. So let's take a look and see what it looks like. Let's check the stats, gear, skills. I'll finish up with showing you a cal map. We won't go through the whole thing, but I'll at least show you how it does. So let's see it.
Beware foul demons and beasts.
Alright, so like I said, he is still a green guy. But yeah, let's just jump right into it. Let's go into the gear and see what it looks like. So you can already see that he's wearing raid cores here. So that's the first thing I'll talk about, right? He is wearing raid cores, and this allows us to have 2 curses, and this is going to be important, which I'll show you why. So again, remember, we're basing all this off the assumption that this is a support Barbarian, and we want to bring as much to the table as we can. We want the groups to want to bring us. So how do we do that, right? We apply 2 curses all the time. Now, how do we do that, right? So we are using a Vile Husk, which is going to give us the amplified damage, which of course is the big one. We all want to do amp damage. So that's going to help your group, it's going to help you, it's going to help your mercenary. Secondly, we're going to be using Exile. So this serves 2 purposes, right? This gives us the Decrepify on striking, and this also gives us Defiance Aura. So it's both giving us tankiness, it's both slowing down all the mobs we're fighting, and it's giving us a little more physical pierce, right? So with amplified damage and with Decrepify, we're getting a lot of pierce here. So that's really nice. We have those 2 curses, and we have raid cores to be able to use them both. Here I just have a war cry. This is just a +4 war cries. Again, you're a support, so you're going to want to have as many war cries as possible. Again, here, of course, we're using the Templar's Might. I love this armor. It's giving you that nice Might aura and giving that sweet green look. I'm using Occultists because I like the faster cast rate. I like hitting that break point pretty easily with these, and you actually have some nice reduced curse duration. So you both have reduced curse duration from this, and then you have curse resistance from Templar's Might and from raid cores. So you actually have some nice, you're not getting too much from curses. So that's kind of nice. Wisp Projector, of course, to help out your mercenary. She benefits, you benefit, your group benefits. String of Ears just for a little tankiness, a little more lifesteal. I like that. You might be able to use something else, but I just like it for sustain. Maybe you throw on an Iraq for another +1 and some more FCR, but maybe not. Maybe hit that next break point at 37. Potentially something you can do, but I like the tankiness and the lifesteal. Here, just a Ravenfrost for CBF, and you need some Mana Leech, so it's one way to get it with the Slam. And lastly, just a Tri-Res Boots, which are nice. Obviously, these are pluggy, so you're not going to get something this nice, but it does cap your reses. You might be able to get resists elsewhere. I have some ums in there. You might be able to put it in your charms, but that's the gear. And then just your 2 grandfathers on swap for them big ol' war cries. I did find that there's a couple of variations to use here. Again, I was going through back and forth all of this stuff, but I do think you can also use a Doombringer, especially if you're soloing. I think it helps you do more damage, right? These are both GG weapons, right? You don't have to necessarily look at these. Yes, they have ohms and zods and huge slams. That's just for me to play around with. Doesn't have to be that much. I mean, again, you're a support role. So yeah, you can use a Doombringer when you're soloing, just so you have 2 swords, you're going to do more whirlwind damage. But while you're in a group, or if you want to just be tanky, I would just use this. It's a nice piece. And then as like a last wish, right? As end game GG, right? You eventually get your last wish. You could probably use that instead of this. Now you have life tap and amp. You have fade. This is just insane weapon. Big old Might aura. But that's when you get enough money for that. So this is kind of what I'm using. Mercenary sort of stays the same. You guys have seen how I build her in the previous ones, right? All F gear with Purgatory. You could use Fortitude, it's not necessary. This is just probably the best damage setup you can find. yes, again, this is a pretty GG demon machine. You can get like a 5-socketed one. You know, it doesn't have to be this strong, but this is just pluggy, and this is just how I've been using it. So yes, it is a little stronger than what it's likely going to be on live, but this is just to show you. So that's Mercenary. Again, she is the Act 1's physical mercenary who casts slow movement, and then over to torches, or excuse me, charms. Just some max damage charms. You could fill in some resists if you're not able to get all your resistances up, so you can kind of mix and match here. I am using Warcry skillers. I think that's probably the best bet. Just again, you're a support and you want to get as many shouts as possible. So Warcry skillers and Torch Annie. I think I showed you swap stats. Really just enough to enough to wear your gear. I probably dumped a little more into strength just to have a little bit extra damage. Not a whole lot. I mean, that needs 232 to wear. But yeah, mostly vitality because you just want to stay tanky. You want to do stay alive. So mostly vitality, and then just enough to wear your gear with a little bit extra into strength if you want to do some more damage. That's stats. Let's go into skills real quick. So skills, here is where I sort of experimented a lot and I changed a lot around. You are using Grimward. We'll start with this main page here. This is your war cries, right? So I'm maxing battle orders and battle command. Again, you're serving that support role. Groups like to have big battle commands and big battle orders. So I max those two. I am maxing Grimward as well. Now bear in mind, I'm only 9 to 1, so there's still more points I can get as I level. But yeah, maxing these three. Grimward maxed is a huge amount of damage, so you'll see as I buff her up. I'll show you that shortly. But yeah, maxing those three, put a point into Battle Cry just to break immunes. And I've been using Battle Cry and or Taunt. Where's Taunt? You know, when I jump into a pack, I'm either taunting them or battle crying. I'm not sure what I like more. Combat Masteries, I'm sort of dumping into here. I did max out Iron Skin just to have more tankiness. You know, 1 point into our 1 point wonders. And then I'm sort of dumping into General Mastery just to have enough attack rating to make sure I'm hitting my whirlwinds. And then on to the combat skills, 1 into leap attack. Everything is pretty much 1 here. You could also dump into whirlwind just to get a little faster whirlwinds. You know, you may not have to be as tanky as going maxing Iron Skin, so you can kind of mess around with whether you want to put more into whirlwind, more into General Mastery. So you can play around with that. But that is it for skills. Let's show you what we can do in terms of like buffing her up, right? So we'll just kill these. So here we'll get our full buffs up, we'll get our wisp out. And let me just show you, so here's her damage there. Now let me show you what it looks like when I cast Grimward. Look at that. So that is a huge buff. That is like 2.5k damage. So that is a lot, and that helps me out immensely too. You know, here, let me show you. I'll move away from it so you can see. Kill this stuff. So my whirlwind attack rating goes down to 5k, which is way too low, and my max damage is 8.3k. Now if I cast this, now my whirlwind attack rating is almost 10k, and my whirlwind going up to 11k. So that's a whole lot more. That's actually really helpful. So I like Grimward with this build, and this goes to your whole party, right? This is for everyone. So what are you bringing to the table? You're bringing 2 curses. You're bringing amp damage, level 31. You're bringing a level 18 Decrepify. You're bringing Defiance Aura. You're bringing all your shouts, right? That you're casting as a barbarian. You're bringing Grimward Totem, which is huge. You're bringing slow movement from your mercenary. So you're bringing so much to the table with this build that I think that any group would love to have this character. So that's just a little bit of a showcase of like what you bring to the table. Why don't we go ahead and get into a map? Sorry, this video is probably going to be a little longer, but there was more I wanted to show you with it, so we'll get into it. How this is built, how this is played, basically I think you leap in, because when you leap into a pack, you essentially assure that you're going to cast your procs, right? Because of how leap works, when you leap into something, you are getting the chance to cast, or chance to strike, chance to cast on striking with every target you hit, right? When you're whirlwinding, that's not happening with splash targets, right? That's the difference of whirlwind and leap, is that when you leap, you're hitting everything once, like actually striking everything once. But when you whirlwind, you're only hitting one target and splashing on the rest. And your on proc items are not getting benefits from splashing, right? So you're only actually getting the chance to proc something on that one target. So I apologize, I'm talking while I play. But yeah, pretty much the build is going to be, or the playstyle is going to be leap in, shout, and start spinning. Make sure your Grimoire's up, and that's it. You're just waiting for your Mercenary to kill stuff. You're still doing a decent amount of damage, so don't think that you're like useless. So you're doing well. As soon as you get a dead body, you're putting up your Grimoire totem, because remember, that is like a huge amount of your damage, and it's really going to help you hit the target because your attack rating is so low. We'll just speed through here because I don't want to take too long in this video. So remember, you're leaping, you're shouting, you're making sure your Grimoire's up. You can see it in the buff in the bottom left. So that's how you can know your Grimoire totem is up. You look at your buffs. Yeah, and I mean you are pretty tanky. Remember that. So you have a lot. You really don't have much fear of dying. And you know, if you do need to taunt, you can taunt, right? You can leap in, you can taunt. Taunt both decreases their defenses and it decreases their damage they're gonna do to you. So if there's any like huge pack that you're scared of, yeah, have a keybind on taunt, and you know, you really shouldn't be scared of them anymore. All right, we'll move a little further through this. I'll show you what the Cow Queen does. She's definitely not as fast. I mean, as much as you can get your Mercenary strong, she doesn't kill the Cow Queen as fast as, like, say the Green Goblin will do, because he's got such a giant army with him. So bear that in mind. We'll move through here. I'm not killing everything, obviously. And we'll just get up here. As soon as you get your body, you cast your Grimoire totem, and your damage skyrockets, and so does your whole group. Yeah, like I said, you can either cast Taunt or you can cast Battle Cry. I think there's something to be said for both. The thing with Battle Cry is if you're amping, you're decrepping, and you're Battle Crying, that's 75% Pierce. Here's the Cow Queen. 75% physical Pierce is insane, and it might be a little overkill. Alright, so let's see how we do here. So wait until your Mercenary targets her, and you kill her pretty decently. I mean, you're not as quick as the Necromancer, but you know, it's really not an issue. So if she dies, see what that jewel is. Nothing. And like I said, you can do more damage. You can use this Doombringer instead. I mean, you see my damage now is here. I think my Grimoire's not up. There you go. So you see my damage now, 11k, 12k. That's pretty good for you know, a generally support Barbarian who kind of focuses more on battle shouts and stuff. So that's some pretty good damage. You can run that as you know, if you want to solo, and then just pop that shield on when you're in a group map and doing some high dungeons or high maps. So anyways, that is the build, guys. That's it. You know, again, I've been working on this. It's still a work in progress. But I think it really shows some true potential and some true versatility. It's definitely not the fastest thing ever, but it's strong, it's tanky, and it just brings a lot. There's a lot that you're bringing to a group. So hey, maybe you want to try it out, go for it. If you have any suggestions, please throw them in the comments. I'm always happy to hear what you guys have to say. I'll try to respond accordingly. And as always, if you like my videos, please go ahead and give me a like, follow, whatever you want to do. If you want to see more of what I got, and if you have any requests, please throw it in the comments, and I'll look into it. So that's it, guys. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Later.